Hello and welcome. I'm really so excited to welcome you. Come into your yoga training in somatic yoga. And in this specific method, the heart mind somatic method. And I am very excited to be offering this to you as a way to explore your own body mind system and also a way to start to leverage that knowledge, both the knowledge that you are going to solidify here, but you might have been feeling for a long time, as well as that lived experience knowledge that you want to share and receive back from, maybe make your livelihood. And that can be in bigger or smaller degrees depending on your calling. And that's one of the things that we want to get clear on through this process. But the very first part is much more technical, just grounding ourselves into the yoga material. For some of you, you might have taken a training before. I did two 200-hour trainings, and I'm so glad I did. For some of you, this is the first time you're training in yoga, and so go gentle with yourself. Know that yoga really is a longer term process, and we want to try to abate that overwhelm that can kind of stop us from learning. And just know that the vastness of yoga and what we're here to learn is pretty big, and we're going to really enjoy each step along the way. I bow to you on this journey, and I'm going to orient you now to the platform and your support system, your resources during this training. So let's jump in onto the platform.
Okay, here we are into the platform. Such an amazing space. And this is your online hub for both the training and the Heartmind Club classes, which you access in this similar way. But let's start with the training first, and then I'll show you the Heartmind Club. And you'll see kind of here, um, you have some information about the group, but the first community tab is basically a feeds section where you can see me, but also here, for example, is Narelle is a student currently in it. And she finished a lesson and she put something in here. I'm still working because it's fairly new on the spaces. But what happens is you choose kind of a space that you might want to comment on, general questions. You'll have just probably one introduction, assignments, and then just aha moments that you're having within the training. And you can post those here and you can write and create a title for it. If it were a question, maybe you lead with, how do I? Or I'm doing this pose and this is coming up. And you need to have a title. Uh, what is, something, what is? And then you also need to have a subject. He, I am having trouble with XYZ. What if? Okay. And then you can also do reactions, emojis. Those aren't as, I mean, they're fun, but you can also create a link if you're trying to share a resource or wanting to link something, an image, a video. So sometimes I will encourage a video check-in, maybe a link to YouTube video or something like this. If you're trying to attach something for assignments or something like that, here's that. Here's where you choose the space, aha moment, assignments. Could be something that you want to raise in the light. Maybe you did a pose for the first time, something like this. Have a look at the different spaces and let me know if you have any questions around that. The only one that you won't see that I see is announcements. So I share announcements through here as well. And then you hit publish. But if you don't have a space chosen, if you don't have a title and a little bit in the subject, it will not let you publish. Yep, see, it shows you choose space. Okay, so that's this, and you'll see that getting populated and more, and I'll also be inviting you to do that more and more. Okay, courses tab, that's up at the top. This is where you'll get the course material for Module 1, Module 2, and Module 3. Module 1 is start here. You'll have some starting stuff. And then there's 3 categories. There's yoga philosophy, anatomy and physiology with looking at it through yoga, and alignment and postures. So those three sections, you'll go a little bit at your own pace. I explain that more here in how to structure module one. So there is some guidance there with the start material. Um, and then the same is true with module two, but you do not move to module two, please, until you do module one. I don't lock you out of it, but I'm really asking you to hold that integrity of sticking with the module material that you're in, and you get a little assessment before you move to module two, and I'll let you know. Okay, now it's time to move to module two. All right, and then there's module three. Then there's the events. You can see the upcoming commencement live session. That's going to be at the end of the month or the beginning of August for some of us. And when there's an event planned, then it'll give you the time, and it should be in your time that you set up for your account. It'll give you the Zoom link and a little description. You can add it to your calendar. So I do send a little reminder 24 hours ahead of time. So just be aware of that. And I'll show you what it's going to look like. Yep, it'll be a technique session or anatomy session or philosophy session potentially with these lives and bringing forward what's coming up for you in the recordings or what you're experiencing. We will have maybe something on the docket for 10 or 15 minutes to just review for everyone, and then we'll leave it open to who's in the room, what needs to be looked at. So we really, really ask you to bring forward your recorded experience to the rooms as material, as the learning material. So those are the events. There's more. You can check out the members. You can check out, a little bit more about, but that's basically the material. Okay. And then the other thing you have access to is the Heartmind Club. So I have all my groups here. There's some other groups. There's a kind of a trauma reclaiming group I have. But right now you have the Heartmind Somatic Training and the Heartmind Club. The Heartmind Club, same thing. It's going to be slightly indifferent in it's going to ask you, your accountability a little bit for some goals that you want to set physically or energetically, more with your personal practice. And you can choose to engage with this, a little bit. Some people are just in the Heartmind Club and they're really setting goals. But it's the same thing. You can post in here. You can, see other people's posts. We have themes that we encourage through the months. What's most important is the events with this one, because this is where you can access all the classes. They are going to change coming this month and really, really starting in August, but not too much, but they are going to change a little bit. And it's the same idea here that you would look at that, see like this one's probably going to change to 60 minutes, but you would look at that and you would have the Zoom and all of that same stuff. You can add it to your calendar. All right. I'm going to send more information through the whole groups around the changes with the schedule, very small changes, but you can see what's upcoming in the next week or two. And that's the platform, and it really just takes you coming in and doing some of that. Now you can personally chat with people. So if you needed to chat with me, you can hit this little chat button and you can chat personally to me or other members of the group. That's another feature here to be able to communicate one-to-one with folks. The other thing I want to mention, and there's going to be a link attached to this video as you get privates throughout the training. And you'll be reminded of when those are. There's one between module 1 and 2, and then there's 6 in module 3, where there's a mentorship kind of aspect to that module. Again, I can't tell you how excited I am. This is just the orientation video. When you're ready and you can have a moment to really find space and time and breath, come to the Start Now button or Start Now section of the curriculum, and we'll get started with structure and tracking Module 1 and how to start Module 1. It's really exciting. Travel well. I can't wait to see your first post, introduction post. I'm going to write the introduction questions and maybe even give an example of it for you as well. And within the next week or two, I'm really going to invite you to introduce yourself. And with those posts, I always ask, if you have the courage to show your face, shine your face over time, that would be great. It is a closed community, and you can always just post the text as well. All right, travel well, enjoy your yoga. I'll see you soon.